What drives a good man to be savage? And when I say good man, I'm talking about an honestly good intention, good man that just wants a family, wants a relationship, and you can kind of call him an average guy. Just and it's sad because that has like a negative connotation to it, or maybe even boring sometimes. But the fact of the matter is, he just wants a stable relationship. He wants a good woman to build with him because these type of guys, start off wanting to build stuff, not because they're broke. Because a lot of this is another thing too. This is another thing I'm gonna kind of touch on just a little bit. But a lot of females are like, oh yeah, he wants to build. This translation for being broke. No, men are made. They don't just come out the womb as multimillionaires and having a house and all that good stuff. Men are made, and these type of good men, they are truly making something out of themselves. But somewhere along the line, these men get played. They get abused emotionally and mentally. And mental and emotional abuse, ladies and gentlemen, abuse, emotional and mental abuse is probably worse, I would say, in some cases than physical. Honestly, because the mind is very sensitive and it can leave a lasting impression on some men. But I'm gonna get into it. This is Tarik Talks. You are now listening to a midnight podcast. Sit down, relax, and enjoy. So these men are guys that have good intentions. Somewhere along the line, what happens is they get played and they turn into absolute savages. What happens is and now they're in the driver's seat because they were always getting took advantage of because of their naivete, and they just didn't know any better. But now they're in the driver's seat and they driving like Mad Max. Because what happens is when they're younger, unfortunately, they run across some bad apples. Not all women, but a lot of them nowadays, especially with the younger generation, because a lot of these young ladies see men as an ATM. They see them as an attention slot machine, an attention ATM, you might say. Some men are currency ATMs, actual ATMs, and some men are attention ATMs. And a lot of these young ladies, they don't really view men as anything that's worth anything. I'm just going to be quite frank. They don't view them almost as human. They view them as human, but they don't realize that what they're doing is going to scar this young man. They only see it as, oh, I'm just using him for attention. I'm just talking to him and slightly flirting with him just enough to keep him around. I'm slightly flirting with him just enough so he could be there for a crying shoulder, for when the guy that she's actually getting screwed by, when he screws her over, she's going to go to the guy that she's using, the good man that she's using for attention, and complain and whine, and this guy is actually thinking that there's something because she keeps telling him, oh yeah, someday, you're a good guy. And she breadcrumbs him basically pretty much halfway flirting with him. There's cases where chicks flirt with guys just to keep them around. And of course, they're not going to tell the guy that they're just using him for attention. They're just using him for conversation because they know good damn well this guy is attracted. He's made slight advances. He had, and you can't kind of say that it's the guy's fault as well. I've touched on this on other videos, but it is kind of the guy's fault for sticking around. But like I said, sometimes ignorance is no excuse, but sometimes these guys are young and they've been taught to pursue and chase a woman. That's what they were taught by society. So, in some aspect, it's like you got to have some kind of sympathy because that's what they've been taught. What have they been taught? Oh, show her how good of a guy you are, and eventually she's gonna be attracted. No. And then the guy finally finds out that he's being used for attention, that this chick has been breadcrumbing him. Because the same chick that was leading him on and halfway flirting and, talking to him at late nights with a soft voice and, laughing, all that type of stuff. Come to find out, she's been getting smashed by some guy that's a piece of crap. A guy that's really no good, and he's using her up. While meanwhile, this guy's been getting used. Then you got cases where the guy is mistreated by females. He's talking to a chick and she just sees him as bottom of the ocean, as scum. And, because she doesn't really feel like men should be respected. And there are a lot of young ladies out there like that. And I'm not saying all of them. I will never say all. But there are a good amount of women that view men as bottom of the totem pole. That's really what they feel like. And they feel like men should just take it, right? So the same guy, he endures all of this, but at some point he doesn't. He takes it until he doesn't take it anymore. Then guess what? Now he's gonna start hitting the gym. He's gonna start prioritizing himself. He's gonna start building his muscle, building his mind, building his spirit, building his confidence. But the thing about it is, he's building all of this up. He's getting more attractive. He's getting physically attractive. Now he might have got a couple tattoos. Or he is a guy that, like I said in the beginning, is building himself up. And he probably got told by a chick that he ain't shit and he's broke and all that, all that good stuff. But little did she know that added fuel to the fire. And now he's building himself up. Now he's getting stronger. He's in the gym grinding. Now he's getting looks. Now when you see him, he's like a completely different person. His clothes are fitting him a little more snug now to where you see his chest. Now he's got some nice clothes that he bought from the mall or the internet. Now his demeanor is a little more cocky. He's hitting up those bars and clubs. He's not trying to do the whole family man thing anymore. He's in the bars and clubs looking for a one-night stand, which he gets. He gets those quick hookups. He's on dating websites now, getting quick hookups because now he doesn't feel the need to even be in a committed relationship. And in the process, the same thing that a lot of these young ladies was doing to him, now he's doing to them. Now he's the one that is flaking and ghosting. Just like what used to happen to him in the beginning. He used to talk to a chick, think it's going somewhere, and then he gets ghosted and flaked on. Well, now he's the one doing that. He's the one ghosting and flaking. He's the one that when he gets what he wants, he's probably not going to call that chick ever again. Or if he does, It'll be way later, and it's only for that purpose only. He's going to keep her around just to have access to her. And he's not going to be nice. These are the guys that in another video I talked about how there's solid men that women complain about when they break up. The guys that had standards and just didn't the chick just didn't meet his standards, and when they break up with that guy, they're going to start talking mess about him. Well, this is the other type of guy, the savage guy, that when he gets what he wants, he doesn't want to deal with her anymore. And now when she breaks up with him, she's calling him all kind of narcissist and he played me and all that stuff, which is funny because that's exactly what she was doing to some other guy. And now what's happening to her? She's the one getting played. And these guys are responsible for, I'm going to tell you guys what, these type of guys are damaged women makers, because after they get done with a young lady, a lot of these young ladies are bitter. They are bitter for a long time because they dealt with this type of guy. These are the type of guys that a lot of these chicks complain about when you see these TikTok shorts and all that stuff, and talking about, oh, a red flag if he's too cocky or he never calls you. Guess who they're talking about? They're talking about that type of guy. Oh, red flag when he doesn't call you every day. Nah, it's not that he isn't calling every day. It's just that he does not feel a need to. He has no need to. Because more than likely, these type of guys get what they want and they bounce. They only want one thing. They don't want marriage and that all that stuff that they wanted in the beginning. They're like, screw that. I'm just getting mine. And these chicks end up heartbroken. And they take it out on other men. But the thing about it is, more than likely, this chick was doing the same thing. She was playing around with some good man. She was leading him on. So it's like a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle in that sense. And these guys, they usually are very good with women. They are usually very good with the women that find him attractive, because he built himself up. He knows what women want. He knows that they don't want that nice corny guy. No more good morning queen texts and no more late night freaking text messaging and FaceTimes. Nah, he's gonna talk to her only when he wants to be intimate, only when he wants to smash. Right? So now he has that little edge to him. He has that little attitude that a lot of chicks go for. He's not a I'm gonna hold your door anymore. Nah. He kind of acts like a jerk. To be honest, he is a jerk. But that's what made the women gravitate to him in the first place. And he sees that it's working. He sees that him boosting up his sex appeal is working. And now he's got many chicks at his disposal. But the thing about it is, this same guy who couldn't even get a kiss, now he's getting play. Now he's messing with chicks, taking them back to the hotel. Some of these chicks got boyfriends. Unfortunately, as effed up as it is, he's taking them to hotels, one night stands, situationships. Now he's leading chicks on. Now he's the one that is leading women on, because the chicks are like, dang, we've been messing around, and we barely go anywhere. We barely go anywhere. And we just been messing around. I'm not even your girlfriend. What's going on? And he's like, hey, this is it. I don't want nothing else from you. And the chick ends up feeling played at the end, because she feels like she gave her body up and she thought she could change this guy and turn him into a boyfriend, when this whole time this guy had no intention. And these guys, unfortunately, they go on to mess a lot of chicks up. Like I said, it's a lot of guys are like, yeah, that's what they get and stuff like that. But the truth about it is, man, ultimately, men and women need to stop hurting each other. Ultimately, because we both need each other, no matter how much people try to deny that. But like I said in the beginning, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong. I'm not saying that this is right or wrong. But these guys got hurt, and some of them heal, some of them heal mentally and start improving, but some of them just have this attitude for life. And they just could care less about how a chick is gonna feel. These are the type of guys that walk around super cocky. And a lot of people might say, oh, that's a defense mechanism, that's because he was hurt. Yeah, it kind of is. Now he's a jerk because that is somewhat of a defense mechanism. And at the same time, he sees that it's working. So why would he ever go back? Why would he ever go back to that corny guy that's bringing a bouquet of flowers when he knows that that's going to get him played? He's going to be like, hell no, I'm not doing that no more, because all that got me was disrespect. And these are the type of guys that are, I don't condone rotations and stuff like that, but these are the type of guys that do have rotations. They have women, they have two women, three of them, and they're talking to them at the same time. And these chicks, they find out now this guy is getting stalked. Now the chick is blowing up his phone, and he could care less. He really could care less, because first of all, he was never in a relationship with any of them, because he never wanted a relationship. And second of all, that's kind of his revenge. As messed up as it sounds, that's kind of his revenge. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hope you guys like this podcast. Peace.